A spark in Corsica, Napoleon's early life. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769 on the island of Corsica. This island had recently been acquired by France. Napoleon's family was of minor nobility. His father, Carlo Bonaparte, was a lawyer. Napoleon's mother, Letizia Ramolino, was known for her strong will and discipline. Napoleon's early education was in Corsica. He later received a scholarship to study in mainland France. He excelled in mathematics and military history. Napoleon was a bright and ambitious student. He absorbed military strategies and tactics. Napoleon graduated from the military academy in 1785. He received a commission as a second lieutenant in the artillery. He was only 16 years old. Napoleon's early years were marked by his Corsican heritage. This instilled in him a strong sense of identity and ambition. His education in mainland France provided him with the military and intellectual foundation. This would shape his future. Military prowess from Corsica to the battlefield. The French Revolution erupted in 1789. France was in turmoil. Napoleon Bonaparte, a young artillery officer, saw an opportunity. He quickly rose through the ranks. He displayed exceptional military talent. His tactical brilliance was evident in his early campaigns. Napoleon's first major victory came at the siege of Toulon in 1793. He successfully drove out British forces. This victory earned him recognition and promotion to brigadier general. Napoleon's star continued to rise. He proved himself to be a skilled commander. He was also a master of logistics and strategy. Napoleon's military campaigns in Italy further cemented his reputation. He led the French army to victory against the Austrians. He liberated northern Italy. Napoleon returned to France a hero. His military successes fueled his ambition and popularity. Rise of the emperor, coup d'état and the consulate. In 1799, France was in political chaos. The Directory, the ruling government, was weak and ineffective. Napoleon Bonaparte, fresh from his victories in Egypt, saw an opportunity to seize power. He returned to Paris and staged a coup d'état. He overthrew the Directory. Napoleon established the consulate. He became first consul. This effectively made him the ruler of France. Napoleon's rise to power was swift and decisive. He consolidated his control over the government. He implemented much-needed reforms. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds. He desired to reshape France. He also wanted to expand its influence across Europe. He embarked on a series of ambitious reforms. These reforms aimed to modernize France and consolidate his power. Napoleonic Code revolutionizing France and beyond. Napoleon Bonaparte implemented significant reforms during his reign. One of the most enduring was the Napoleonic Code. This comprehensive legal system replaced the patchwork of feudal laws. It established a unified legal framework for France. The Napoleonic Code enshrined the principles of equality before the law. It also promoted religious tolerance. It safeguarded property rights. The code's influence extended far beyond France. It became a model for legal systems across Europe and beyond. Napoleon's reforms extended to other areas as well. He centralized the French government. He established the Bank of France. He also reformed education and public works. These reforms aimed to modernize France. They also aimed to consolidate Napoleon's power. Section 5. Conquering Europe. Napoleon's military campaigns. Napoleon Bonaparte's ambition extended beyond the borders of France. He sought to expand French influence across Europe. He embarked on a series of military campaigns that engulfed the continent in war. Napoleon's military genius was on full display. He won a string of victories against Austria, Prussia, and Russia. Napoleon's victories led to the creation of the French Empire. This empire stretched from Spain in the west to Poland in the east. Napoleon's conquests had a profound impact on the political map of Europe. They also spread the ideals of the French Revolution. Napoleon's military campaigns were not without their critics. His opponents saw him as a power-hungry tyrant. They resisted his rule. Despite the opposition, Napoleon remained a formidable force. He continued to expand his empire. Section 6. The Russian Quagmire, Seeds of Downfall Sown. In 1812, Napoleon Bonaparte made a fateful decision. He decided to invade Russia. The invasion of Russia proved to be a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes. The vast distances, harsh climate and scorched earth tactics employed by the Russians took a heavy toll on the French army. Napoleon's grand army of over 600,000 men was decimated. Only a fraction of his forces returned from the disastrous campaign. The defeat in Russia weakened Napoleon's grip on power. It also emboldened his enemies. The Russian campaign exposed the limitations of Napoleon's military genius. It also highlighted the growing resistance to his rule. The seeds of his downfall had been sown. Section 7. Abdication and exile, the end of an era. Following his disastrous Russian campaign, Napoleon Bonaparte faced mounting pressure. His enemies, emboldened by his weakness, formed a coalition against him. They defeated him at the Battle of Leipzig in 1813. Napoleon abdicated the throne in 1814. He was exiled to the island of Elba off the coast of Italy. Napoleon's abdication marked the end of his reign. It also signaled the restoration of the Bourbon monarchy in France. Napoleon's exile did not extinguish his ambition or his influence. He remained a potent symbol of revolution and national pride. Section 8. The 100 Days and Waterloo, a last stand. In 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte escaped from Elba. He returned to France. His return sparked a wave of popular support. Napoleon rallied his supporters. He marched on Paris. He reclaimed the throne. This brief period, known as the 100 Days, marked Napoleon's last grasp on power. His enemies, determined to crush him once and for all, mobilized their forces. They confronted Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo on June 18, 1815. The Battle of Waterloo was a decisive defeat for Napoleon. His army was routed. He was forced to abdicate again. This time, his exile was permanent. Section 9. St. Helena. Final days and death of an emperor. Following Napoleon Bonaparte was exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. St. Helena was a British possession. It was chosen for its remoteness. This was to prevent Napoleon from escaping again. Napoleon lived out his remaining days on St. Helena. He dictated his memoirs. He reflected on his life and career. Napoleon died on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51. The cause of his death is still debated. Some historians believe he died of stomach cancer. Others suspect arsenic poisoning. Napoleon's death marked the end of an era. It also sparked numerous legends and controversies. Napoleon's life and legacy continue to fascinate and divide historians. Section 10. Napoleon's legacy, a complex tapestry. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is complex and multifaceted. He was a military genius. He was a ruthless conqueror. He was also an enlightened reformer. Napoleon's conquests spread the ideals of the French Revolution throughout Europe. His reforms modernized France. They also left a lasting mark on law, government, and society. Napoleon's critics argue that he was a power-hungry tyrant. They point to his suppression of dissent. They also point to his endless wars that cost millions of lives. Napoleon's admirers view him as a visionary leader. They credit him with uniting France. They also credit him with modernizing Europe. Napoleon's legacy continues to be debated today. He remains a controversial figure. He is both admired and reviled for his actions and achievements. Section 11. Conclusion: hero or tyrant? The enduring enigma. Napoleon Bonaparte was a complex and contradictory figure. He was a military genius who conquered much of Europe. He was also an enlightened despot who implemented lasting reforms. Napoleon's legacy is both celebrated and condemned. He remains an enigma. He is both a hero and a tyrant. Napoleon's rise to power was meteoric. He capitalized on the chaos of the French Revolution. He established himself as a powerful leader. His military campaigns spread fear and admiration throughout Europe. His reforms transformed France. Napoleon's downfall was equally dramatic. His ambition ultimately proved to be his undoing. His disastrous invasion of Russia marked a turning point. It led to his defeat and exile. Napoleon's life and legacy continue to fascinate and inspire. He remains one of the most influential figures in history.